A little bit of porn never hurt nobody, right? Well, I think it depends on who you ask. But let's be clear, for your stiffness, for your relationship, for your mental health as an adult, porn can be both helpful and or harmful depending on how you use it. So let's get into the science and the practical piece to see which category you're actually in. All right, so I'm Dr. Rachael, a physician and sexologist, and my mission is to help you live your best life inside and outside of the bedroom. So before we tackle this kind of controversial porn plunge, right, I want you to subscribe to my channel. Now, this is the only place where you can get this honest conversation about men's sexual health and natural ways on how to improve it. Now, for any person who masturbates regularly and goes days and weeks without any physical contact, you're actually training yourself to enjoy your hand and the porn more than you could possibly enjoy sexual contact with another person. So if you are in a relationship, you'll kind of start avoiding sex if you aren't consuming porn in the proper way. And if you aren't in one, you'll start to make very little effort to get into one. You know, there really is a power in that number two. So continuous solo play keeps you from establishing really strong sexual relationships with another person. And when you do yourself, it's perfect. You know how fast, you know how slow, what pressure, etc. When you do this while watching your favorite scenes, you actually are rewiring or training your brain to associate your stiffness with what you're seeing on that screen instead of real life. Maybe on your screen, the person has on heels. Maybe on your screen, it's dripping and drizzling down your partner's face. Maybe on your screen, there are multiple people involved, and that's fine. But too much of it in this kind of screen fantasy, and you are now programming or rewiring your brain to need exactly what you're watching regularly and honestly in order to really get stiff. And so then when you're with a nice person you know, or someone you met while you were out, or even your partner, they don't have the heels on. They don't have anything dribbling down their face. They are real. And now your erection is in shock. He can't perform. And it's been programmed to kind of only get stiff in certain situations now. But the good thing about this is that it's fixable. So the first problem with too much porn or consuming porn irresponsibly is that you're actually programming your erection to get stiff for the video, not the real person. Now, we are discussing the science behind your brain on porn, the pros and the cons. Now, the next problem is that you can develop what we call a post-ejaculatory hangover that sticks around and stays. So what exactly is a post-ejaculatory hangover? Post means after. So after ejaculation, you get a hangover. Post-ejaculatory, meaning afterwards that explosion, it is harder to get stiff again. After you let loose, your neurohormones have to rebuild themselves. Your brain has to be hungry for sex in order to stiffen up on demand. So too much and too often, too many explosions, you just aren't interested in sex, and too much post-ejaculatory hangover will leave you with performance erectile dysfunction. Now, ED, when it's time to actually perform. So look at this chart that actually shows the steep decline of dopamine after you release and explode. Do this 2 to 3 times a day and you have stripped away your body's animalistic drive to get some. No part of your body will work hard if it doesn't have to. Every cell in your body wants to be lazy. So your drive decreases, your erection suffers, your relationship suffers, even your work suffers. Heck, you suffer. Exploding too much and too often makes you feel like crap. So value your seeds of life. Don't waste it on videos of people you don't even know and on your hand, right? Don't waste that, because frequent ejaculation, especially through excessive porn use, actually will deplete your sexual energy, leading to lower vitality and motivation for all things. Now, the third problem we see with problematic porn use is that it actually really rewires your brain and increases your turn-on tolerance. What this means is that you start out watching vanilla. Vanilla gets you hot. Vanilla porn is okay. But before you know it, you need more extreme content to satisfy your sexual urges. Then one day you look up and you're looking at who knows what. Now, like anything. There are, of course, some good things that can come from porn consumption. For instance, when used with a partner and upon occasion, you can learn to try new things. You can get new ideas, explore fantasies, and inch through those certain boundaries that we kind of put on a box of sex, right? Now, the other thing, occasional porn use can increase your sexual confidence. Nothing like a little confidence when it comes to sex. It gives you ideas and confidence to try new things. It can actually, in some people, even decrease anxiety. Great sex is about being able to bring variety and bring the passion. Adult movies can help with that. And then last, some studies suggest that porn can increase sexual satisfaction, especially for ladies, when watched with a partner. And it makes sense, right? Watching people in the throes of passion, hot sex everywhere can turn you and your partner on and get the two of you ready moisture-wise and stiffness-wise. But the thing is, you don't want to do it too often because you two will look up one day and need the movies in order to connect sexually. It can remove the spontaneity from sex. You may already be looking for the phone every time it's time to do it and every time it's time to have sex. So too much porn, too often, will lead to intimacy issues. Not may, but will. It can lead to compulsions, worsening of depression-like symptoms, and make you feel isolated. So I want you to use porn responsibly. Set boundaries for yourself. For example, set time limits. Listen, maybe it's no more than 20 minutes a week. Now, this is going to sound funny, but watch porn with intent. Ask yourself, why am I watching this? If it's because you're lonely, you're tired, or feeling depressed or bored, avoid it, because that's what will lend to a problem. But if it's because you're curious, want to blow off a little steam, then fine. Then you want to make sure you avoid porn that disrespects, rapes, or mistreats people, because this too can rewire your brain to think that that type of behavior is okay, and it's not. And if you have a partner, communicate about your porn use. Make sure that watching it is actually enhancing your relationship and isn't having a negative impact on you or your relationship in any way. So you may be wondering, hey, Dr. Rachael, how do I know if I have a porn problem and if I'm watching too much of it? Well, let's talk about some signs that it's a bit much for you. Number one, you are prioritizing porn over real life responsibilities or even real life sexual or intimate situations. You start to notice that you're needing more and more extreme content to feel turned on. That's number two. And you may be feeling guilty, anxious, or distressed about watching certain content. That's a problem number three. And these are all signs that you may be overdoing it with the porn. So here are questions just to kind of ask yourself. Listen, hey self, do I need to watch more extreme content than I used to? Am I avoiding intimacy with my partner? Do I feel depleted after ejaculation? Well, don't beat yourself up. There's always room for improvement in everything that you do, and tomorrow's a new day. So give your permission to cut back gradually. Remove it from your phone. That really helps because you're putting a barrier between you and the porn. Start by cutting back. You don't have to quit cold turkey, but reduce the amount of time that you spend watching porn each week, and this can make a huge difference. Set clear, realistic goals, maybe limited to once or twice a week instead of every day. This will help your brain reset and lower the need for constant stimulation. Seek support if you need it, through therapy, coaching, or even just finding an accountability partner. For some people, it's tough to make changes alone, and that is all right. If you feel like porn is really taking over your life, listen, don't hesitate to seek help. Don't hesitate to say, hey, I've got a problem. Drop it in the comments if you need that. Therapy, especially with a sex therapist, can be incredibly helpful in breaking unhealthy patterns. But there's no shame in asking for support if you need it. And then, of course, reconnect with real life intimacy, self-care, holding hands, being emotional. It's okay. Connect with those things. Get outside. Do things you enjoy. And socialize. Remember, frequent ejaculation, especially from excessive porn use, really drains your energy over time. By cutting back, you'll actually start to notice a difference in how energized and motivated you feel, not just sexually, but in all areas of your life. Reducing your porn consumption can give you back that vitality It's a step, and help you refocus on what really matters. So porn can be a tool for exploring your sexuality, but like anything else, moderation is the key. And if you find it's starting to interfere with things and interfere with your real life, your relationships, your job, your school, or leaving you feeling drained, it's time to reassess. Now remember, it can deplete your sexual energy if you do it too much. So take control before it takes control of you. I'm Dr. Rachael. Subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you're feeling and what you're thinking. I want to hear your thoughts. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. For more tips on sexual health and wellness, I'm Dr. Rachael, and I'll see you next time. I love you. Boom!